Divorce is one of the toughest things you can go through, and honestly, the financial stress can be completely overwhelming. So we're going to get straight to it and break down the real costs you're looking at in 2026. And if you need more help, madeforlaw.com is a great resource.
Yeah, if this is the question that's been rattling around in your head, believe me, you are not alone. So let's do this. Let's swap that worry for some real, hard numbers so you can actually see what you're up against. And it all starts with the one thing that will make or break your budget. And here it is, the single biggest factor that drives the cost of a divorce. It's not the assets, it's not where you live, it's conflict. I mean, look at these numbers. If you and your spouse can agree on the big issues, an uncontested divorce, you're looking at about $4,100 on average. But the second you can't agree, boom, you're in a contested divorce, and that cost jumps to over 23 grand. And honestly, that's often just the floor.
All right, so no matter what path you go down, everyone has to pay an entrance fee, so to speak. Let's talk about that non-negotiable starting line.
You can think of this like a cover charge. You got to pay it just to get in the door and start the legal process. It's set by your state, it's non-negotiable, and it's pretty much the first check you'll have to write. But here's the thing. While everyone pays, the price of admission is wildly different depending on where you live. And I mean, just look at this range. If you're in California, you're forking over $435 right out of the gate. But head over to Mississippi, and it's only $50. It's kind of crazy, right? It just goes to show you that from the very first day, your zip code plays a huge role in what this is all going to cost.
Okay, but that filing fee, that's just the appetizer. The main course, where the bill really starts to rack up, well, that's all about conflict.
So what does contested even mean? It's simple, really. It just means you and your spouse can't agree on the big stuff. Things like who gets what property, child custody, or financial support. If there's a disagreement on any of that, you're in a contested divorce. And you have to understand, every single one of those disagreements, it comes with a price tag. And what is that price tag? Well, it's your lawyer's hourly rate. For 2026, you're looking at a national average somewhere between $270 and almost $350 an hour. And trust me, every single thing is on the clock. Every phone call, every email they read, every strategy session, the meter is always running.
And this is how those hours just pile up. See, a contested divorce isn't one and done. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You've got all these stages, temporary hearings, then a process called discovery where you're exchanging tons of documents, then mediation, then pretrial stuff, and maybe even a full-blown trial. Each one of those steps can burn through thousands of dollars in legal fees.
All right, so you've got the filing fee covered, and you're mentally prepared for the lawyer's bill. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about the hidden costs, the ones nobody ever seems to warn you about.
It really is a huge question, because the lawyer's bill is just one piece of a much bigger, more expensive puzzle. Just think about it. You're taking one life, one household, and splitting it into two. That alone kicks off a whole chain reaction of costs. Okay, here's a classic example. You need to split a 401k or a pension. You can't just withdraw half the money. No way. You need a special legal document called a QDRO. That's QDRO. And just getting that one document prepared can cost you anywhere from $450 to almost $2 grand. It's an expense that almost nobody thinks about until they're told they need it. And if you're disagreeing about child custody, oh boy, that's where things can get incredibly expensive. A judge might order a formal custody evaluation. This is where they bring in a professional to interview everyone and make a recommendation to the court. And that service, it's not cheap. We're talking an extra $5, $10, sometimes even more than $10,000 just for that one report. And the list just keeps on going. You've got to take time off work for court, right? That's lost income. Now you're paying for 2 sets of utility bills, 2 rents or mortgages. Then there's moving costs, a fee to have someone officially serve the divorce papers, even therapy to just get through it all. Individually, they might not seem like much, but when you add them all up, it's a huge financial hit. And the financial impact doesn't just stop the day the judge signs the papers. Not at all. Let's look at the long-term picture now, specifically alimony and, you guessed it, taxes. This is so important to understand. Your final divorce decree, it's not just a legal document, it's your new financial plan. The decisions you make about who gets what today can have enormous tax consequences for you years from now. This cannot be an afterthought. It has to be front and center during your negotiations. Think about it. The house, for example. If you sell it, are you going to get hit with a massive capital gains tax bill? Those retirement accounts we talked about? One wrong move, and you could be facing huge penalties. And spousal support, or alimony? The tax rules for that are super specific, and they change the bottom line for both the person paying and the person receiving it year after year. Okay,
I know, after hearing all of that, it's really easy to feel, well, completely overwhelmed and powerless. But you're not, I promise. This last part is the most important, because we're going to talk about how you can actually take back some control and save a lot of money.
The very first step is actually a change in your mindset. I love this quote from attorney Lisa Carver, who says you should try to think of it like a business deal, like you're dissolving a partnership. The more you can do that and use your lawyer for legal advice, not as a therapist or a referee, the less money you're going to spend.
And probably the single most powerful tool you have to save money is mediation. It's where you both sit down with a neutral professional to help you hash out an agreement instead of fighting it out with lawyers in court. And look at the savings. You can slash your total costs by 40 to 60%. I mean, that is just a game changer.
You know, when you boil it all down, it comes back to one simple, powerful idea. Please don't spend thousands in legal fees fighting over the microwave. Knowing which battles to fight and which to let go of is the single most important financial decision you will make in this entire process.
I really hope this breakdown helps clear away some of the fog and gives you a better sense of the road ahead. And remember, for more tools and information to help you out, you can always check out madeforlaw.com.